Okay, so when I fully unboxed this phone and wanted to start using it so I can start preparing for this review, the first thing I tried out was the dual stereo speakers of this phone. And the reason is because I wasn't impressed with the speakers that came with the predecessor, that is the Infinix Hot 40i. But with this one here, the Hot 50i, there is definitely a huge improvement. The audio quality sounds really good, and even at the loudest volume, I didn't really notice any kind of sound distortion. Another improvement this time around is in the frame. For the Infinix Hot 40i, we had a very glossy frame that magnets everything from fingerprints to dust and all of it. Yeah, and for me, that kind of like ruins the whole design of the phone. But this time around, we're getting a frame with matte finishing, and it really gels well with the rear of the phone, which is very good. Now, still talking about the rear, there is a new camera module design. This is the second Infinix phone I'm reviewing in like a month or thereabout, and I would say I'm getting to really like the designs of their phone for this year. They are not so generic like what we had last year. There seems to be a bit of thought process going into the design of this phone, which is pretty good. But when it comes to build quality, it's practically the same: plastic frame, plastic rear, and the front alone is glass. Now, in case you're wondering, the color I have here with me is called Sage Green. There are two other colors you can choose from, as you are seeing right now on the screen. Now, the Infinix Hot 40i comes in two RAM versions. We have the 4 or the 6 gigs of RAM and the 128 gigs or 256 gigs of internal storage. Now, both of these memories are expandable using either memory fusion or memory cards. Now, let's go back to the back and talk about this 48 megapixel Sony IMX582 camera sensor. Now, it takes really good pictures like what you are looking at right now. So considering the price point of this phone, yeah, these pictures are pretty good. You just want to make sure the lighting is ideal. It also does well when it comes to sky processing, and the colors are quite true to life. When it comes to videos, the highest you get is 2K quality. There is no form of stabilization at all, so you want to make sure you have steady hands when you are shooting videos with this phone. Now, switching to the selfie camera, we see a huge pixel downgrade. Not necessarily in terms of quality, but really in terms of pixels, we are going from a 32 megapixel selfie camera we had in the Infinix Hot 40i to an 8 megapixel selfie camera on the Infinix Hot 50i. I would say the qualities of the selfies are still pretty good. Colors and background processing is still great. Just that I feel it add a bit of reddish tints to my face or to my skin. But overall, I would say for an entry-level phone, yeah, the selfies are okay. And just like the back camera, you can also shoot videos with the front camera at highest 2K at 30 frames per second. And yeah, there's still that reddish tint on my face, as you can see right now. But what do you think overall of the video quality of both the front and the back camera of this phone? Just let me have your thoughts in the comment section below. Now, what I also want to know is why you haven't subscribed to the channel yet or liked this video. Please help us get to 50K subscribers by the year ending. It will only be possible with your help and support. Thanks and thanks. Now, let's talk about the display of this phone. We see what looks like a slight boost in quality. It is now a 120Hz IPS LCD display, but then it's still 720 pixel resolution. It's still 500 nits at peak brightness, so it's fairly usable outdoors. So, like I said, it's just slight improvement in terms of the refresh rate. But I would say even in 2024, these are decent specs, yeah? Coupled with the fact that that is the same specs that is offered by the competitors. So it's kind of like a standard. There's also always on display on this phone, even though it has an LCD screen. And there are lots of options you can choose from on the display settings, which definitely will improve your user experience. Another good thing to note here is that the Infinix Hot 50i has an IP54 water splash and dust rating, unlike the Hot 40i that had no such rating. So this is a bit protected. There's also the side-mounted fingerprint sensor that is pretty fast when it comes to scanning and opening your phone. And then our region here gets NFC, even though it's not mainstream now, but yeah, it's in the phone. Now, majority of the other specs of this phone is practically basic. We have a 5000 mAh battery with 18 watts charging. But something I am more excited about is Infinix AI. Now, according to Infinix, it will be launching October 3rd, which is today that I'm shooting this video. And it's good to know that whatever it is they are bringing will be accessible by this phone. So fingers crossed, let's see what it's coming with. And of course, with AI on this phone, yeah, that makes it more 2024. Now let's talk about performance, because I have a lot to say. Firstly, this phone is powered by the Helio G81, the same processor we have in the Infinix Smart 9, which is supposed to be a lesser phone. But compared to the Unisoc T606 in the Infinix Hot 40i of last year, I would say it is both an upgrade and a downgrade. Now, this is what I mean. The Helio G81 that we have here supports a 120Hz refresh rate. So that means there's a bit of more fluency when you are scrolling through the UI of this phone. Like, you really get to notice that this phone is super smooth. So that is kind of like an upgrade compared to the 90Hz we had before. But where there is a downgrade is in terms of the graphics processing unit. The Helio G81 supports Mali G52 GPU as against the Mali G57 that we had in the Infinix Hot 40i. Now, if you're a gamer, that is definitely not good news, because what that means is that if you are doing anything that is graphics intensive, then the Infinix Hot 40i is better suited for such tasks. But as an everyday user, you may not notice this downgrade, added to the fact that this phone is not meant for graphics intensive tasks. It's understandable why anyone would rather go for a higher refresh rate than a slightly better graphics quality. But then it's my job to nitpick on stuff like this and just let you know about it. Now, there is still also the 48 months performance fluency that we're seeing in all of these Tecno, Infinix, and itel phones. Now, I did a little bit of research and discovered that it is a certification that is given to phone manufacturers by a company called TUV or something like that. Now, it is awarded after they have used advanced memory optimization to determine the smoothness, fluency, and responsiveness of a phone after many years of use. Now, there are still so many question marks around all of that, because I don't know how you can play every possible scenario of usage after many years. Android 14 and Infinix XOS 14.5 is what runs on this phone. And trust me when I say it is packed with very nice features like Folax Translate, battery and power saving options, even special functions like Smart Hub, Game Mode, Dynamic Bar, Smart Panels, just name it. There are so many functions on this phone that will definitely make your user experience to be way better. The user interface is also pretty clean from what I have seen here. There are no unnecessary bloatwares that tend to like bug the phones with ads and all of that. Unfortunately though, there is no mention of software updates on this phone. So you want to buy it with that in mind. What you get is what you get. So really, I would say the Infinix Hot 50i came with so many good upgrades and iterations with this device. We have a slightly better display, Android 14, improved cameras, and a better and more thoughtful overall design of this phone. So yeah, it's a worthy upgrade. Unfortunately, the high exchange rate in Nigeria right now is just making these phones not so affordable like they used to be. But that is something we definitely can't control. So there you have it. All you need to know about the Infinix Hot 50i. But you personally, what do you think about this phone? Let me have your thoughts in the comment section below. I will be reviewing all the entry-level phones I have with me right now. So you want to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on that epic review. Also like this video so that YouTube can help push it to more people to see. And of course, I will catch you guys in my next video. Thanks.